Captain Bucky Goldman here, Bag 'em Fishing Charters, Tampa, Florida Fishing Guide.com. I'm primarily an artificial guy. Last few trips have been live bait because my clientele is just going to get it done. And I'm about results. So let me go over some of the artificial lures that I like to use. Something I've had tied on for the last 20 years is a paddle tail jig, and I've primarily been using DOA's Cal Shad tail. It's a Cal is a catch anything lure series. So it's a 3-inch paddle tail, and I like to use a chartreuse 1/4 ounce jig head with a little loop knot for extra action. When I'm fishing this, it's either a straight reel with my rod tip up, or I'm doing little jigs or bouncing it off the bottom like a standard jig that you would do. I sometimes use lighter jig heads, 1/8 ounce, 16 ounce, but that's if I'm in a lot shallower water and I have a little spookier fish that I want a quieter landing in the water, or I just want to be able to reel it over some thick grass when there's a little bit of water left. So some of the colors that I like to use is, number one is the greenback 419 color. I love this 418 melonback. There's a Arkansas Glow, which is 406 color. One of my favorites that we won that Power Pole Redfish tournament on is this Glow with a Gold Rush belly. That is number 309 color. I noticed some bioluminescence in the water early that morning, and I changed from the 419 greenback to this because I figured if it's gonna glow, it's gonna go, and it paid off. And then we got the Fiji Chicken, which is like the melonback, but instead of the belly being like a pearl, it's like a silvery glitter with a chartreuse tail. They do have another color called the Mole, but it's kind of a brown root beer with a pearl belly that has been really producing lately. And when I rig these lures, if you can see, it says DOA on here. You can kind of see it. DOA, there you go, it's on there. Well, when I'm rigging this, I like to lay the jig head across, and I've done this 1,000 times when I'm rigging a paddle tail, no matter what kind, and see where it's going to come across. And that's where the point of my hook is going to come out. And on this case, it's going to be in the very back, almost towards the back side of that O. If we position this properly, that lettering, that it just happens to work out that way, or maybe that was intentional by Mark Nichols. And I'd like to feed the hook on there and rig it so it's nice and streamlined. Again, it's a straight retrieve, or slight jigging or bouncing it off the bottom, making it swim. Now, something else that I've had tied on usually is a gold spoon. Johnson Silver Minnow. I know it says Silver Minnow, but this is the gold color. When I was guiding Mosquito Lagoon, I was using a lot of silver over there. The gold just wasn't producing like it does on the West Coast over here. It has a little built-in weed guard. I tie a loop knot. I don't see a need for a swivel because when you're fishing this thing is going to wobble one way and wobble back the other way. So if you're reeling it too fast, it's going to spin. If your weed guard is out too far, it's going to spin and twist your line. But if you have it rigged properly, it's just going to wobble one way and wobble back. And then if you have your line that gets caught underneath this, it'll definitely twist and do some funky action, and you'll notice it when you retrieve. It'll actually feel a little stiffer when you're retrieving it. I catch everything. I can't even tell you how many redfish and snook I have caught and big trout on gold spoons on this Johnson Silver Minnow. They've been around since 1920s. And it's one of my favorite lures. Now I like to talk to you, little topwater action is a mirror lure. I like these Pro Dog Juniors. This is in the CI series. It's C85MR. And this is a walk the dog type topwater. It's got a nice rattle in it, low frequency rattle. And I catch snook, trout, redfish. Oh man, of course there's jacks that are gonna slam this thing. I don't like a lot of crazy colors. This bone color is fantastic. Everyone knows the redhead with the white belly is fantastic, and you can see this thing's getting kind of chewed up. Again, I'm tying it with a little loop knot, and this is the black back with a pearl belly. It's got little spots on it, and it is basically says on the back, it says C85 MR 21 trout. It is great lure, catch everything on this, and those are the top water lures that I am using. And again, I usually have my rod tip down and a slow steady reel while I tap tap tap, and you want to tap it so because when you come back it gives it that little extra room to walk back and forth. And I will vary my speeds when I'm using this lure just because I want to see what bites. And sometimes when it's super windy or super rough, I don't even try to walk it through. I may just hold my rod up and let that wind swing it across the flat. You know, if it's ripping, I'll let it swing across, maybe just kind of give it little tiny taps, or just reel it like this and tiny tap, tap, tap. Not even trying to walk it, just make it splash through the waves, and you'll have some good results with that. Now, DOA shrimp is something that I've been using since I was a little kid, and they're one of the greatest lures of all time. And as far as shrimp go, I mean, some of them look more natural, but they almost look exactly like a shrimp. But these things they're just bulletproof, man. You can't go wrong with it. I'm gonna start off with this. They have like 5 different sizes. This is a 2.75. This one has like this little like sled-like weight in it, and it sinks heavier. It's, you know, sinks faster. This little bait. It's got a real stout hook on it, and it's excellent for triple tail. I mean, triple tail on a buoy or off the pilings, this thing is a killer little triple tail bait. Now they have a 3-inch that I use and a 4-inch as well. It depends on what I'm doing. Whether I'm like trying to sight cast some spooky fish, I may go down to a little lighter one, or if I can't get close enough, I may go to a heavy one, or if I'm trying to pitch underneath some mangroves. But this is the Night Glow color, 305. Again, I can't stress the glow in some of these lures. Again, you got the 309 glow with the Gold Rush belly. And then also this is a 3-inch near clear. This is a fantastic lure. I will pull them back sometimes. And what I do is I will pull these lures back because this will slide, and if you're ripping it real hard, it'll kind of pull this head back, and you'll end up getting a lot of spinning action. So I will actually pull this back and super glue that shaft and slide it back on, and I can catch a lot more fish on it. It doesn't, you know, the grub is intentionally made to slide up, but I mean, I find that I'd rather maybe miss a fish or two and be able to prolong the life of the lure. You know, because they do get a little expensive. Now, like as you can see here, I do not have a loop knot. I tie these straight, because if you've ever seen a shrimp swimming, they just swim in a straight line, and when they panic, they come back. They don't, if you tie it with a loop knot, I feel like it gets a little wobble in it. And I never seen a shrimp swimming unless they've been drinking, and I don't know very many shrimp to drink. So now, this near clear is, see, you have a little weight in here you can see, and they also have another little channel in here. It's great to like squirt some like Procure scent in there, but DOA also has these little glass rattles, little beads if you can hear it, and you can take these and insert these into your lure, if I can get it in there, and stuff it in there, and now you have a little bit of rattle with these lures as well. And I find that that's awesome for some tailing fish that you get in front of them and you can just barely twitch it and draw attention to this. Excellent lure. Highly recommend trying these. The last thing I wanted to go over is the Miradyne lure from MiraLure. If you all have seen these lures, they're a suspending twitch bait. They're excellent baits. I kind of match the hatch what I'm using, whether there's a lot of mullet around, whether you have a lot of scaled sardines. I don't really go with crazy colors too much, but that's just me. I'm more of a natural color kind of guy. Now, this is the Broken Glass series that they have. You can see it has some like glass looking stuff in there. It's great. This is the 27 MR. Again, it's a 3 1/8 inch lure, 9/16 ounces. They have a little smaller version, which is the 17 MR. It's 2 5/8 inches and only weighs 3/8 of an ounce. And it's a little bit smaller of a profile bait. As if you can see next to this one. It's kind of hard. Yeah, you can kind of see. So it's a little smaller. You can fish in a little skinnier water. It's killer bait. Again, here's a bone color. This is the like the greenback broken glass series. Now they have, here's a normal greenback without the broken glass color. They have these skin series now where this one is a mullet, and it's the same lure just in a mullet pattern, as well as they have a pilcher pattern which looks like a greenback. This one's the 17 MR. It's a little rusty, but can't keep that from all your stuff. It's just gonna get rusty if you use it. Change out the hooks. But those are some of my go-to lures. Again, that's a suspending twitch bait. So when I'm jigging it, it's a twitch and pause and let it suspend for a second. Twitch, pause, and it should dart back and forth and pause. And usually when that pause is when they smack it. Anyways, again, this is Captain Bucky Goldman, Baggin' Fishing Charters. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little long, but you know, passionate about my artificials. So you all have a good day, and I'll see you on the water. Thank you.